Hello, welcome to my recording for Unit 3, Lesson 3. We're going to be talking about dividing integers and decimals. Okay, both positive and negative decimals. The way I usually start this lesson off is I have students just write down their favorite fractions. Don't you love fractions? And almost always I get, ugh, I hate fractions. Okay, and I'm hoping to show you something today that might change your mind about fractions. So if you're not quite sure what a fraction is, here's a fraction, 2/4. Here's another one, 29/3. This is an improper fraction. And here's another one, x/4. That is also a fraction, even though it's a mystery numerator, mystery value in the numerator. In the top, it's still a fraction. Okay, now, and you're going, wait, Miss King, I noticed fractions don't come for another couple of units. Well, guess what? I'll show you something cool. Okay, this is an obelus. Obelus, that's what it's called. It's an empty fraction. That's the division sign, right? Look at this. 2/4. That's the same as 2 divided by 4. 21/7. That's 21 divided by 7. This is just an empty fraction. That's it. Is your mind blown? Yeah, that's it. You take a number, divide it by another number. Well, let's do another one. x/3. Wow, there's a lag here. Let's try another one. x/3. Okay? We don't know what x is. We can't simplify this any further because I can't, it's a mystery value. I can't divide it into something I don't know what it is. But it is a fraction. Isn't that cool? It's an empty fraction. So what we're going to do is we're going to start moving away from the obelus, because generally mathematicians don't use the division sign, the obelus. Don't use it anymore, it's gone. We usually do a division bar or a fraction bar to show division. Okay, and just for future reference, Alt plus 0.247. I think that's what it is. Hold on, let me check. Alt 0.247. Ah, what's the division sign? Right there. Isn't that cool? All right, so now that we know that this fraction bar, if you see a fraction, just remember, it's just division. That's it. If you can divide, you can do fractions. One more thing we're going to add to this word of operations, we're going to add in the division. Okay? And if you look at, we have parentheses, exponents, roots, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. If you see the pattern, subtraction is the inverse of addition. Guess what division is? The inverse operation of multiplication. And the rules are going to be exactly the same. As far as the signs go, when it comes to signs, it's the exact same thing. Okay, so just like we multiply the absolute values, and then if it's the same sign, it's positive. If it's different sign, it's negative. Same thing with division. We look to see, is it positive? A positive divided by a positive is a positive. A negative divided by a negative. Same sign. That smiley, serene face is positive. Okay. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. And a positive divided by a negative is a negative. If the signs are different, they are negative. Okay. There's just a couple things you need to remember. If there's a fraction bar, okay, if there's a fraction bar, if it's complicated on the top, it's not a division symbol yet. You need to group the top. In fact, you can have an invisible grouping. I'll show you what it looks like. So just remember, it's not division until it's completely simplified. Then you can divide. Okay? So simplify the top, then it becomes a division problem. And also, remember how if you multiply something by 0, it's 0. If you simplify the numerator, the top of the fraction, and you get to 0, your answer is going to be 0. Easy. And of course, if you simplify and the denominator is equal to 0, there's no answer. It's undefined. If you put it in a calculator, it says error. Okay. This is what happens. The world implodes. Gone. Okay. Do not divide by 0. You got to keep an eye out for that. There's no answer if the denominator at the bottom is 0. Just know that you cannot divide by 0. There's no definition for that. And the other thing you need to remember is you follow the same rules to simplify and evaluate. Let me show you quickly how to use the multiplication table. Here's a -14 divided by a -2. Go on to -2 and just cross over until you see 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. In fact, let me highlight it. And it's negative divided by negative, it would be positive. Okay. All right. So let's see, what does this actually look like? Here we go. Okay. Remember, no dividing by 0. Okay. I'm looking at this. I see this first word, this word simplify, and that makes me go, oh, order of operations, that's right. Oh. So I see the word simplify. Highlight your special math words. Okay. Okay, and so what do I see now? I see a fraction bar, so I know this is division, right? But do you see how it's complicated on the top? Down here on the bottom, it's just a negative number. This isn't complicated right here. Just a -2. Okay, the bottom is simplified, but the top isn't. So I'm going to kind of envision parentheses here. But you don't have to put them in there if you don't want to. You just have to remember that I cannot divide until the top is simple. Okay, so let's just look at that top over here. I'm going to bring the numerator over here, take a look. 3 minus 9. All right. Well, this isn't 9 minus 3. This isn't something we've been doing since kindergarten. This is a larger number subtracted from a smaller number. So what I need to do is just, too complicated, I'm going to add the opposite. I'm going to add the opposite. Make that a little smaller. So how do I add the opposite? My first step, keep the first one. We don't change the first number. I'm going to change it to adding the opposite. The opposite of 9 is a -9. So instead of 3 subtract 9, it's 3 plus a -9. All right, so that was our first step, changing it to addition. Now I go in and get my addition rules, SS or DD. Okay. Are these the same sign or are they different signs? See a negative, I see a positive. They are different signs, DD. Okay. That means I'm going to subtract the absolute values. In fact, let me move this over a little bit more here. Okay. Since it's difference, the AV, I'm going to find the difference. The absolute value of 3 is 3, and the absolute value of a negative 9 is 9. Oh, wait. The 9 is the greater absolute value, so I'm going to put that on top and subtract the lesser absolute value. And then I'm going to keep the sign of the greater AV. So it's going to be negative. Okay. So my next step is I'm going to simplify 3 minus 9. Well, I simplified that to a negative 6 over, and I don't change that negative 2. All right, well, it gets simple on the top, simple on the bottom. Nice. All right, so let's think about dividing now. Now I can divide. What are my rules? All right, so here we go. Negative 6 divided by a negative 2. Well, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. I know that's going to be true. Okay. One here, 6 divided by 2. Come back to here. Okay, let's clear this off. 6 divided by 2, so let's find 2 and go over to 6. There's 6. Oh, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And it's going to be positive because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Happy, smiley, serene face. Okay. Here's another one. Going to simplify this guy. All right, what do you notice? Well, I see the word simplify. Boom. That means, oh, order of operations. Oh, okay. Okay, and so I see there's division, there's a fraction bar, but it's complicated on top and it's complicated on the bottom. So let me go ahead and do 4 plus a negative, 6 plus a negative 4. 6 plus a negative 4. Well, I see, I'm going to do this one in my head if I can. Positive plus a negative, okay, which means, oh, let me do this. I also have adding in the denominator. I can do both of these. I can simplify the top and the bottom at the same time because they're both adding. This is my adding step. I have a negative plus a positive. So both of these guys are DD, different signs. The numerator, I'm adding different signs. The denominator, the bottom, I'm adding different signs. So let's do the top. 6 plus a negative 4. Since that's DD, I'm going to find the difference between the absolute value, 6 and 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. And it's going to be positive because my greater AV is 6. Let's look underneath. Boom. Negative plus a positive is DD, difference. Okay. 9 minus 7. 9 is the absolute value here. That's greater than 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. And this is going to be, I'm going to save, this is the greater absolute value. So I'm going to save that sign. It's going to be negative. All right. Simple on top, check. Simple on bottom, check. Let's go ahead and divide. What is 2 divided by 2? 1. What is the answer going to be? What's the sign? Remember, my dividing rules are the same as my multiplying rules. Oh, they're different signs. Positive divided by a negative is negative. There we go. That's how you do it. Ooh, evaluation. Ooh, what pops into your brain when you think of evaluation? I'm going to highlight that special math word. That's one of my clues. Okay. Yeah, if you said dig a hole or substitute, you are correct. We have to do that before we simplify. I cannot simplify a value if there's a mystery value. But since it tells me what the mystery value is, I can put it in there. So here we go. The first thing I do is I copy it down. Then I'm going to dig out this T, dig a hole, throw that T away, and I see that T is equal to something. I take everything that's over here on the side, what it's equal to, and I put that in, 25. T is equal to 25, put that in the hole. It can be T, it can be 25, either one. 25 plus 5, okay, sorry. First step is substituting, then we simplify. No parentheses. It's simple inside these parentheses, so I don't have to worry about it. It's not grouping. Not that yet. I do have a division symbol here, but remember, I have to simplify the top first. So I only see addition. Let's go ahead and do that. 25 plus 5 is 30. Copy down what I don't change. The last thing I do, and you notice I'm going to come over here to the side. I ran out of room here. Please don't do equal, equal, equal if you can help it. If it doesn't start with an equal sign, don't put one in. Just go to another column. 30 divided by a negative 6. In fact, we could even write it 30 divided by a negative 6. We could rewrite it like that now that it's simple on top and bottom. 30 divided by negative 6. So where's my thing? Here we go. 6. 30. Absolute value of negative 6 is 6. 30. All right. So what do I do? Oh, it's 5. There we go. It's 5. And then it keeps those same multiplication rules, the faces. Positive divided by a negative. Oh, I got punched in the face. That's negative. Okay, that's my final answer. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you spending the time. Make sure you practice those quiz questions, the practice problems before you take the quiz. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.